Hello and welcome everyone to Salesforce Women in Tech Group Kolkata. We are here yet another live session of Par.0 to Hero Workshop Part 4. A very quick introduction about me. My name is Khyati Mehta. I am a proud Salesforce marketing champion. I was recently featured on Salesforce blog as well. Professionally, I work as a Salesforce developer at Cognizant Technology Solutions. I am 4x Salesforce certified. Apart from this, I also have DevOps knowledge. Hence, I am 2x Copado certified, 1x Flossom professional certified. I love everything about the community. I love giving back to the community. Hence, I'm a community speaker, a trailhead mentor, and I also love to blog. The blog's name is All About Salesforce. We are running certain contests for the Par.0 to Hero workshop. First is definitely the Kahoot quiz that will be taken at the end of the session, which will be based on the session. Also, we are running a contest wherein you could just tweet or post about the things that you like about the workshop, anything like your key takeaways, your likes or dislikes about the workshop. And you have to tag with Kolkata, Pardot, me, Khyatu07, and Lakhan, the speaker for the day, Lakhan SFDC, and also use hashtags with Kolkata and with Pardot. A winner will be chosen at the end of the day. So the agenda of the workshop is the workshop has been designed into 8 days. These 8 days workshop will include everything about Pardot with detailed demos wherever applicable. The workshop is planned in a detailed exercise manner so that it helps trailblazers understand everything from scratch about Pardot. We have an amazing lineup of marketing champions to cover the exercises and offer their guidance. Please note, we will not be able to provide a practice org, but will do our best to include all the detailed demos. We will also try our best to cover all the release updates for each topic so the sessions are updated. Before speaking about the speaker for the day, please note that we have different kind of contests running, and there might be someone who will be selected for Diwali surprise swag. So stay tuned, guys. The speaker for the day is Lakhan Meghani. He is also a Salesforce marketing champion and he's working as a Salesforce developer at Arya Technologies. He's also 3x Salesforce certified. Over to Lakhan. Please feel free to drop any questions if you have within the session in the chat box so that we can take it up in the later. Over to you, Lakhan.
Thank you, Kathy. Let me share my screen. Let me know if it is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
All right. Good morning, guys, and hope everyone had a wonderful Diwali. So, talking about my introduction, my name is Lakhan Meghani, and I have 2+ years of experience in Salesforce. Currently, I'm working as a Salesforce developer at Arya Tech, and I'm a Salesforce marketing champion of class 2021. I'm 4x certified, and I often find Trailblazer community as helpful, so I'm active on Trailblazer community as well. And I do blog at sfdcapextips.blogpost.com, and you can reach out to me on Twitter and LinkedIn at the mentions account. All right, let's move towards the agenda of today's session. So we'll be discussing about what is form and what is landing page in the Pardot, and followed by how to create the forms in Pardot.
Lakhan, could you please put it in a presenter mode?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. All right. So agenda of the today's session is to create the form and landing pages in the Pardot.
Sorry to
And
interrupt you again. Could you please click on use slideshow maybe because it's not on the full screen yet.
okay, is
Yes,
it
not
now?
yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And next we will see how to create forms in the Pardot environment itself. Then how to create landing pages in the Pardot, and what other systems we have available apart from Pardot to create the landing pages and embed the Pardot form as well. And second last is about the social connectors that we have available in the Pardot, and even all connectors that we can use in a Pardot uh, to run our campaigns. And the last thing is a demo on a Twitter connector, and we will schedule one post from Pardot, and we can tweet it on our Twitter account. So very first is the difference between form and the landing page in the Pardot. So form is nothing but a space where you can see a group of fields along with the submit button. So in the left hand screen, you can see a example of contact us form having first name, last name, uh, email field, and other field as well. So this is a design of form. And in the right hand side, you can see the landing page. So landing page is nothing but a page where you can see a form, and prospect or visitor can fill the form. So the major difference is the look and feel between the UI. So landing page is of course create a good look and feel and made a form on it, and additionally it will give the additional details about your product. Like in the right hand side, you can mention about the ebook guide and Facebook ads, and again the form which is available on it. So that is a basic difference between form and landing page. So likewise in the Pardot, we create a form and embed the form on the landing pages, and we can also create the landing pages into the Pardot, and there is an option to select the Pardot form as well into the landing pages. Hope the difference is clear. Next is how to create form in Pardot. So let's directly jump into the uh, Salesforce Pardot.org, and these are the steps mentioned how to create the form. All right, so I'm in the demo org. You can see the URL pi.demo.pardot.com. I prefer to use this demo org instead of directly the Salesforce environment, but of course you can use the Salesforce environment as well. So let's see how to create the form. So first is we have to jump onto the uh, marketing tab, and here you can see forms, and the very first option is the forms. So after clicking on form, there is a add form button. So we will click on the add form, and the next step is very simple. We have to give the name of form. So I will simply give par contact us form, and we can give the tags as well. So tags are useful to uh, isolate or recognize the event by the type. So let's assume this is a live show, so I will give the tag as live show. and next is folder. So in the Pardot, everything is isolated with the help of folders and campaigns. We store each and everything into the folders, and each and everything to the uh, each and everything is linked to the campaigns, and both are the required fields. So I will simply select whatever folder and whatever campaign that I already have available in the Pard.org. And next is to click on the next button, and here you can see the fields which I want to showcase on the Pard.form. form. So here, like we have seen in this example, so there was a couple of fields. So uh, likewise, we can set here the fields, and if you want to add the additional field, then you have to simply click on the additional field, add field, sorry, and from here we can select the field, and again data type as well. So I want drop down here, and here we can select the values as well. So in my or countries is already a pick list value. So here you can see it is by default showing me all the pick list values that I have. Perhaps if I want to add any additional pick list value or any other value here, of course we can do that with the help of add new button, and we will simply click on the save changes. So countries field is available now here, and if you want to remove any field, you can click on delete button, but of course first name, last name, company email are the and country are the basic things that even are required in the Salesforce as well. So we will keep this as it is. And further, I would like to show you some things which Pardot give us as a functionality. So very first is pre-filling. So these are the three checkbox which are available. So there are two concepts in the form. One is pre-filling and other is the progressive profiling. So let's talk about the pre-filling first. So of course it's let's assume if we have 10 fields on the Pardot form and all are the text field. So of course it is very difficult for prospect and visitor to fill each and every field again and again if he is filling the form multiple times or even a single time. So first of all, while designing the form, we have to make sure the form design is as simple as possible. And if we keep the form too much long, then of course prospect is not going to fill, because everyone time is a biggest asset, and no one would like to invest much of the time uh, whenever he will serve for anything. So we have to make sure the form design should be as optimized as possible. First name, last name, of course it would be text, but countries, wherever it possible, it should be pick list field or drop down field. uh, Apart from this, whatever other fields we would like to use, based on that we have to select the appropriate type. Now let's assume in this scenario I have fields which I would like to fill whenever prospect came into my Pardot or Salesforce database. So very first is pre-filling and progressive profiling. How both these together work, I will give the example. uh, so pre-filling is, let's assume someone has filled the form uh, 4 months before, and today he is coming back to our website and he is interested in some of our products. So he is going to fill the form once again. So uh, Pardot automatically recognize this prospect has filled the form 4 months ago. So based on that activity, it auto fills the fields which are available in the which he has filled in a previous form fill. So those fields will be auto filled, and he just came to the website and he will simply click on the submit button. So that field will be auto filled, and prospect will be saved again in a Pardot, followed by the sync in Salesforce if sync is enabled. And how it works with the progressive profiling. So progressive profiling is used to take the uh, additional additional data every time whenever prospect is filling the form. So if I talk about this example, here you can see first name, last name, email, business phone. Let's assume I have these four fields available on the Pardot. So whenever first form fill is occur, so uh, it will show by default four fields on the form. Now let's assume after 6 months, prospect is coming back to the website, and these four fields will be pre-filled because we have enabled the pre-filling in the Pardot. So these four fields are pre-filled, and additionally it will show rest of the six field as a progressive profiling. So in this way we take the additional data from the user whenever they try to fill the form. So this is how progressive profiling and pre-filling works in the action. So let's create let's create the progressive profiling. I will i will click this checkbox for country at least, and we will anyone for the first name, no worries. So this is the example of pre-filling, and let's assume I want progressive profiling. So here you can see if email was already filled earlier, so I can add one additional field, so it will show the fax field, for example. So in this way, we can show the additional fields onto the UI once the once the form fill is occur for the next time. And of course we have dependent uh, field also available if we have any pick list value, so we can do here for sure. So dependent pick list will work as similar as the Salesforce dependent pick list. Let's assume uh, country and state field. So if country is India, so it will show all the states of India only. So I will click on next here, and we have option to select the layout template. So uh, how the look and feel should look like. Uh, so as of for now, we will click on the standard, but if you want the good designs available uh, for your form, then of course you can do that. And this is a submit button text, so we will simply keep it submit. And there is a option to set your font size, font family, color, alignment, whatever you want here. So it's again a simply point and click option. And there is option of reCAPTCHA as well, so we can use this as well. And this is the text which you would like to uh, show after submitting the form. So we can simply keep it like this, and we can simply click on the next button. And again, this is the thank you content. And here we can use the designing assets whatever we have. This is as close as our Word document, whatever possible we can do. And and this is to display the thank you message. uh, we would like, if we want to like, if we would like to display this uh, forever after the form fill, then we can show that. And we can also redirect to the something else asset as well. Let's assume if you want, after a form fill, we want to redirect the prospect or visitor to the asset of, let's assume, a PDF asset which have the details of product of company whatever they are selling. So we can redirect that as well on the submit button. And next, very last, is the completion action, which I think this might be covered in a previous or maybe in a future sessions. Let's assume we want to adjust the score. So if someone has filled the form, then give the 10 plus scores. So of course we can do that. And if you want to change the field, and or if you want to notify the user, add to the list, remove to the list, etc., that we have autoresponders, of course. So that all is taken care in the completion action. And this is similar to the native automation tools, example process builder, flows. Whatever action we do, we can do that from here as well, and it includes the marketing actions. So Pardot score is a marketing action, and autoresponder email, add to the Salesforce campaign, etc. And the last step is the next, but so our form is ready here. We can simply click on confirm and save. So form is ready now, and you can see the look and feel of form from here. So this is the form that we have created. I by mistakenly added this text below the form. So this means whatever text you would like to add below the submit button and uh, above the first name of field. And the labels are not appropriate in my machine, so that's the reason it is showing like this. And you can simply fill the form here. So this is a simple form, not a landing page. We can put this on a landing page. We'll click on submit. Here you go. So this is the submit text that we have added. So this was a simple form which I have shown in the left side. So now we can embed this form onto our landing page. So let's jump on how to create the landing page. Here I have mentioned the simple steps. So we will see this directly in action how it works. So again, to create the landing page, we'll go to here, landing pages, and we'll simply click on new landing pages. So here I would like to add something here. So there are again landing page templates available here in the Pardot to make the page responsive. So what is mean by responsiveness here, especially if you are building the landing pages. So whenever you are building any website or any page, it should be responsive in all the devices. So for example, in a, let me open any website if I know. Facebook. Okay, so let's assume this is one of the page for the moment, and this is how it looks in the desktop view, which is absolutely fine. Now if you want to see it in any of the device, let's assume I want to visit it in a iPad. So here you can see it looks nice, but not completely, because here you can see the left and right scroll, which is not accepted if you are making the responsive templates, because it should be, you know, completely fit in the user screen. And yes, it is very difficult to maintain the 100% responsiveness, but yeah, for the most of the devices we can make it. So here you can see for the couple of devices it is working fine, and for the couple of devices it is not working, and it again depends on device to device. So I'm using Mac currently. So this is a concept of responsiveness, and we do have responsive templates as well available here, but based on my experience in a previous implementation, we often integrate the WordPress with the Pardot environment, because WordPress is very easy to build the pages, whatever design or whatever look and feel we want. And yeah, that those the WordPress environment is of course the drag and drop environment, and you literally have to do a little coding there, which is again HTML and CSS. So we can integrate the WordPress with the Pardot, and we can build the pages into the WordPress, and we can embed the uh, Pardot form into the WordPress. So how we can embed the Pardot form on the any other third-party system on which we are uh, building the pages. I have used Unbounce as well and WordPress as well to build the pages for if you require the excellent look and feel, which is somehow not possible in Pardot, if I can say. But yeah, uh, we can. You can see this view HTML code here. So it will give you the iframe code, and if you copy paste this in your WordPress landing page or even a Pardot landing page, then it will uh, give you the exact look and feel of whatever form we created here. So this gives the iframe code, and we can embed that into the uh, landing pages that we have. Coming back to landing pages, so uh, we'll create one landing page here, and of course we can give tag. So it was a live event, so we can give the live show something, whatever you want. And folder is must, and again everything is linked to the campaign, so we can select any of the campaign whatever you have in the system, and we can simply click on next. So here it is giving option to uh, select the form. So we have just created the form. Okay, so here you can see it is showing the tag, and it is last modified 6 minutes ago, and we can choose that. And in case if you don't want to choose it here, then there is an option to embed the iframe as well, which I have mentioned here. And you can simply click on the next button. So here's the option to select the templates. So if you have any created templates available in your org, then you can select any template. These are the standard templates available. And I think there is an option which gives the ability to select the responsive templates. I'm not sure if it is available in a free org, but the responsive templates work as a responsive mode in any of the devices. If you create a landing page from the responsive template designs. So as of for now, we will go with the Scratch, and this is the simple screen uh, which you can simply drag and drop and see. This is the form uh, you have created. And again, these are the couple of things. You can do whatever you want here. So if you want the image here, so you can click on the image, and these are the simple HTML and CSS which you can apply from the point and click. Let's assume height and width and the color, etc. And you can upload any of the images. And these are the Pardot assets uh, which you can store into your Pardot, and you can use it anywhere wherever you want. So this is the simple image that I'm using here. So we are done with the page, let's assume. And if you want to make it uh, you know very good in the look and feel, then you have to work on the Pardot landing page templates. And I will click on next and confirm and save. All right, almost we are done with our landing page design. Okay, so as you can see in the form, we have added 3 or 4 fields, but currently it is showing only one field. So this might be because of the the session cache that I have. But I'm sure if I open in the incognito mode, then it should work as expected. Here you can see. So here I was able to see only one field, that to a pre-fill. Here you can see I have filled the previous form with this email ID, and now it is showing here the same email ID which I have filled. So this is the look and feel of form, how it looks. And ignore this text for the moment. I have edited it mistakenly. So uh, this is all about the landing page, how we can create. And the input box, whatever, these all are maintained at the form level, and even at the form layout as well. So you can control it everything. This is just a raw design of how it works. Of course it takes time because it involves a little bit of HTML and CSS if you are very precise about the look and feel. All right, so uh, next part next part is the uh, scheduling of post from the Pardot. So as of for now, we will work on how to schedule a post on Twitter. So as of for now, I have attached the screenshot of uh, the tweet which I did yesterday for the testing purpose, but we will dive deeper in the demo here. So okay, let me close this. So we will go to admin and we will go to connectors, and there is a add connector button here, and here you can see my Twitter is already connected, but I will show you how to connect it. So these are the connectors which are natively available in the Pardot. We are going to focus on the social posting connectors as of for now, but Pardot do support the webinar connectors, which covers WebEx, GoToWebinar, Ready to Talk, and these are responsible to schedule the campaign email invites or the meeting invites, etc. Whatever we have. Then we have Google Analytics for the measuring of traffic, how many customers are visiting, what content they are visiting more, and stuff like that. And again, there are event connectors, event type, and in social connector we have Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So if you want to connect your Twitter with Pardot, then you simply have to click on the Twitter and you have to put username, and then it will authorize. And once that is done, then it will show the status equal to active here. So I have did it yesterday only. So we have uh, Twitter in connect with the Pardot. So we'll see how we can post a post a tweet on Twitter. So I will simply click on social here, and here is the option new social post. So I will click on new social post, and I will select the account here. So this is my account. Here you can see I have Facebook and LinkedIn connected as well. So I will select this one, and I will simply write any test tweet. And we will add one link as well, because it tracks the clicks of link as well. So I will add my blog link simply. Here we go. And there's an option to either schedule, and if I want to send it now, then I can simply send it now. So I will open my Twitter as well, and here you can see I don't have any tweet as of for now. And let's hit the send now button. Now the expected is to see that tweet here. Let's refresh this. All right, here you can see this is the tweet, and here you can see the Pardot uh, because we are sending it on the behalf of Pardot service, so it will mention the name here Pardot. So this is how we can do tweet from Pardot to your Twitter. And if I go here, and this is a tweet you can see. If I click on it, it will count the impressions as well, number of retweets, uh, clicks, etc., whatever you want. So you can check and check this tweet, and uh, we can see here the stats. However, countings or numbers, it will improve here. So this is how uh, it works. The social connectors, and we do have LinkedIn, Facebook available as well. And the reason why they are required is, uh, let's assume we have any live show and we want to do the publicity. So of course, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn are the social medias that we even for this event. We have published it on Twitter and LinkedIn, not on the Facebook, I'm sure. So this is how um, you know uh, we can do the social posting using Twitter or any other social medias. And that was it about the session, the social posting connector, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And this is how we can uh, post any tweet on the uh, Twitter. uh, Over to you, Khyati. Almost I'm done. Let me know if there are any questions for me, and thank you everyone for being a kind listener.
Thank you, Lakan. For one wonderful session. We have a question for you. Uh,
Mhm.
how can we get demo org for Pardot?
Okay, so very first I will share one link with you on chat. So you cannot get the demo org, honestly and unfortunately, but of course there is a Pardot guided tour available, uh, which which is supported by the Pardot itself, where you can take a look and feel of the Pardot.org that we have. Uh, but the par.org which I was using in the demo, that is only that you can get only if you are the Salesforce partner, and somehow you can contact the Salesforce partner and get it from them. But yeah, apart from this there is no other way, but I would recommend to use the par.guided guided tour, which give the exact same look and feel of par. Environment.
Okay, thank you, Lakhan, for the answer. Could you give us more insights or some business use case about Pardot, tracking of a tweet or social post?
Tracking of the tweet or social post. Okay, uh, this tracking is whatever I have shown it to you, the number of retweets, like whatever it will show on it. But I'm not sure uh, how precisely it calculates. This is the first, and second is what parameters of tracking you are looking for. Because if you are looking for the tracking purpose, then again there is one additional thing which we do here, which is nothing but the UTM parameters. So in the every tweet, there is, of course, there will be a link of form, a link of landing page, which insists the visitors or whomsoever is seeing the post to fill the landing page or form. So those links have the UTM parameters. So we can capture the UTM source, a parameter name and campaign name, and we can identify from where we got this prospect, either Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter in our case, whatever we discussed in the call.
Okay, Prakash asks, how do you create form handler and embedded landing page?
How do you create form handler and embed it on the landing page? Okay, you want form handler to be embedded on the landing page. I believe form handler are already used for this, to embed the form on the website page. If you are talking about WordPress page, then I think form handler also give us the same iframe code, which I have shown it to you. And if not, then there is a direct option to select the website or form, or the landing page link while creating the form handler.
Uh, can we use forms without enabling HTTPS and how it worked?
Okay, so okay, that is a part of DNS, and probably here the more involvement is of your webmaster, who is taking care of your domain and stuff like that. So based on my experience, when we implemented SLS for our domain, so the task is to change all the asset URLs from HTTP to HTTPS, and there is some SSL certificate and stuff like that, which is more or less taken care by the webmaster and the Pardot support, because you have to raise the support ticket from Pardot, and they will make sure from the Pardot end it is SSL verified, and then from uh, the org's webmaster have to make sure all the URLs are appended with HTTPS to make it secured, because we cannot capture the data from the unsecured environment, and that is the reason we implement the SSL in the Pardot environment.
Can one form handler will be embedded in multiple pages?
Yes, why not? But again, you have to make sure the look and feel how it looks and how you want, and this is all the part of uh, customization.
Could you, if you want to render our form or landing page on our website, The only way is to
Mhm.
use iframe, or is there any other way too?
Okay, first of all, not landing page, the form. Yes, the only way is the iframe that we get from the uh, form which we have built into the Pardot. And next thing, if you want the Pardot landing pages to be available on the on your website, then again, this is the task which webmaster has to do. You simply have to give the link of landing page, if I'm not wrong, and there are a couple of other parameters, I don't know, but yeah, it is possible.
How does Salesforce feature allow a view of a prospect's Pardot landing page submission activity on the syncing contact?
Yes, so syncing of activities is possible, and this is all the very initial part of integration. And you can sync form fills, visits, views, and everything whatever you have. But more or less, I think form fills are something which needs to be synced uh, in the Salesforce environment, and of course, you can do the views as well and visits as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lakhan, for such a wonderful session. Thank you, everyone, for just being interactive and learning back.